Welcome to Sumner School Business Immigration Basics. In this video, we are talking about the final step of the labor certification process, which is submitting the labor certification application to Department of Labor. The labor certification application form is also referred to as Form 9089. So this is the last step of the process, or one of the last steps of the process, after you have gone through the process of obtaining the prevailing wage determination and completing all of the recruitment and confirming that there are no qualified U.S. applicants for the position. When we submit Form 9089, we submit it online. You have the option of submitting it by paper as well. In our practice, we always submit it online. Regardless of how you submit the 9089, you don't have the option even of including supporting documentation. That's unlike other immigration filings that we would file with USCIS or with the Department of State, which are of course different agencies. With those filings, we almost always include supporting documentation, a cover letter, a support letter to document how our client meets all of the requirements, to proactively explain any potential issues. We just don't have that option with Department of Labor and submitting the 9089 online. We do, where we can, fit in explanations proactively of specific points that we think may be confusing for the officer who's reviewing the form, but we can't submit supporting documentation. No one can. When we submit the 9089 online, the next step is we receive an email confirmation from Department of Labor confirming that they received it with a case number that we can use to look up the case status online, and then we wait. The processing time really varies. As of the time that we're making this video, which is August of 2024, the Department of Labor 9089 processing time is about 13 to 14 months. That is subject to change. It could be shorter than that or longer than that in the future, and it does change depending on workload of Department of Labor and other factors. The possible outcomes after you submit the 9089 and after you wait are the form could be approved, it could be denied, or you could receive an audit. It is possible to receive a denial without an audit. An audit is similar to what we would call a request for evidence in the USCIS context. That's when Department of Labor asks for additional information. The audit could be random. They do randomly select 9089s just to ask for the supporting documentation to make sure that the sponsoring employer has correctly taken all of the recruitment steps and has correctly eliminated or disqualified any potentially qualified U.S. applicants. It's also possible to receive an audit if U.S. or Department of Labor has specific questions about the application. So maybe they have a question about whether the position requirements are reasonable, for example, or any number of other issues. They can ask specific questions. If that's the case, if you receive an audit when Department of Labor is asking for specific documentation, you also have to submit the recruitment documentation to show that the employer took all of the proper recruitment steps and properly vetted any potentially qualified applicants. Once the 9089 is approved, they will send an email to the attorney of record and to the employer with the certified 9089 attached as an attachment to the email. We can then use that 9089, that certified labor certification, the approved labor certification, to submit the I-140 petition. In this context, the perm-based green card process, we have to have that labor certification approved before we go on to the next step, which is filing the I-140 petition. In addition, the 9089 or the approved labor certification, I'm using those terms interchangeably, it means the same thing, but the labor certification, once it's approved, is valid for 180 days, and you have to submit the I-140 petition with that certified labor certification or with the labor certification application within that 180-day time period. So in our next video, we will be taking a high-level overview of the I-140 petition, which is the next step in the process. If you found this video helpful, I hope that you will share it with a friend or colleague and make sure that you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next episode. Until next time, my name is Emily Sumner with Sumner Immigration Law, serving clients throughout the United States and around the world with employment-based and family-based immigration matters.